Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is sanddollar here. It's Friday morning, the 4th. I'm here to do a vlog. There's a couple things, two things that I want to talk to you about. One thing, 48 years ago, May 4th, I want to talk to you about four fallen heroes that's been forgotten about. On May 4th of 1970, 48 years ago, there was four college kids that was murdered by the National Guard at Kent State College. Their name was Allison Krauss, Jeffrey Miller, Sandra Shore, and William Schroeder. Now these kids, they were considered hippie children. And let me define that a little bit. You know, the hippie movement was not all about long hair, rock and roll, sex, and drugs. It was about us kids at the time protesting about our rights being taken away and the government dictating to us what we can do and what we couldn't do as American citizens. On this particular day, they were protesting the Vietnam War. And the governor of Ohio told the National Guard to go out there and break up the rally. And they just shot these kids down and wounded 9 others. And because of their actions, it triggered a massive event across the nation, which brought the Vietnam conflict to an end. You know, back then it wasn't considered a war until 10 years after it was over. It was a police action. So we were limited on what we could do over there. You know, we give up the country that we were helping fight communism and give it back to North Vietnam. So the thing is, these kids have been forgotten about. They fought for our equal rights. They do have a small monument on the grounds of Ohio Kent State College, which in my opinion, they created history. They should have a monument right next to Martin Luther King at the White House. You know, I mean, they were equal rights people, and they fought for our equal rights back then. So I want to say, you know, take a moment and honor these kids because they fought for our rights back then, and they paid dearly with their lives. There's several videos out there. One is 3 minutes long by Neil Young called Ohio that shows actual pictures. And the song documents it. It's 3 minutes long. And then there's 2 episodes, 30 minutes long each, by National Geographic called How It Was Kent State. And those are 30-minute long videos with actual footage and clips, and it narrates and interviews people that were survivors of that tragic incident. So, you know, please take a moment and you know, honor these four people: Allison Krauss, Jeffrey Miller, Sandra Shore, and William Schroeder, because they paid dearly for us. Even though in the mid-70s and early 80s we give up a lot of our rights. So they didn't die in vain, because they did bring the Vietnam War to an end. However, the equal rights that they fought for back then, you know, we gave up quite a bit. I mean, nowadays we have police canines. You know, what is this, Nazi Germany? And, you know, there's other things. And now that we're fighting over gun rights. Well, you know, I don't want to get into other political issues because this video is to honor them. Now, my second part of this video is the American farmer. You know, I used to be an American farmer, but the economy put me out of business. I mean, it's sad, you know. That, and I had some close relatives embezzled a lot of money, and I lost my farm. However, the point is the other day I went to the grocery store. You know, it's getting summertime here in Florida, and it's time to start eating more healthier foods like fruits and vegetables, watermelon, cantaloupes. So I bought two cantaloupes. The first one I ate, it was not ripe, you know. The second one I bought, and you can see here on this video, right here is where a massive worm is, or fruit flies, that's inside this melon. And yeah, there's another spot right there, you know, where it's just eating. What, you know, I'm going to take it back to the store, try to get my money back. But the thing is, and I didn't realize this at the time when I bought it, um, it comes from Mexico, okay? And I have bought, you know, bananas from the grocery store. It was from Guatemala, even though it said Dole label on it. It was from Guatemala, and tomatoes was from somewhere in Mexico. And what happened to supporting the American farmer? You know, I mean, look, it's, don't leave a comment and say, well, Trump's trying to fix all that, because Trump ain't doing crap. It's up to you and me, the consumer, to buy American fruit and vegetables. I mean, why should we? And it's because they import these from foreign countries. Is why there's no longer an American farmer, unless you're doing mass production like Tyson chicken or something that, you know, okay, yeah, those people do pretty good, but there's a lot of competition for them too. So yeah, I suggest that we, the consumer, Americans, support the American farmer. I mean, even if it's a backyard gardener that grows his own cucumbers, you know, if he has a couple extra to sell, buy them. It helps him. You know, we started this country from us being pilgrims, not refugees. We were pilgrims that came to this country. You know, there were shoe cobblers and everything, and most of us were American farmers. Well, this government put us American farmers out of business. I know, as I was a small farmer compared to most, but the government just, you know, put me out of business. I went through three hurricanes back in 2004, which my farm got totally destroyed. I had to pay for it out of my own pocket. There wasn't no money designated for me, even though that they tried to encourage me to start this type of farming, which I was an aquatic farmer. I farmed shrimp in gigantic tanks because our waterways were getting fished out and polluted. Uh, Now they did help the citrus farmer of Florida, but there wasn't no money designated to help me, so I had to rebuild my farm out of my own pocket at the time. But that's not the point. You know, if we do this and we buy only American fruit and vegetables, yeah, we may pay an extra couple cents or a dollar extra, you know, in the beginning, because until we get more and more American farmers back into doing this, you know, the prices will be a little higher, you know. But once we start getting to where we're buying more from the American farmer, then our prices go down because there'll be more American farmers. I mean, this is what this country is all about. I think that we should support ourselves before we support any foreign countries. You know, remember that, you know, charity starts at home first. That's the old saying. Well, let's use that and support the American farmer. You know, it's getting sad. I mean, 20 something years ago, we sold off a lot of our wheat fields to China, and, you know, it's ridiculous. So, You know, this is America. We feed the world, but we should feed ourselves first. Why should we support Mexico and Guatemala and other countries, and then our American farmers struggle and go to in all the industrial things? You know, our shoes, our watches, our everything. We have the best in the world here in the United States. Let's use it. Let's support ourselves before we support the world. You know, once we get our country back the way it was, and helping, then okay, whatever extra, then we'll help some other country. But for now, let's help us. So this is part of the thing I wanted to talk to you this morning about. If you like this video, leave a comment. If I have enough comments, I'll open up another YouTube channel other than metal detecting, and we'll discuss a lot of other issues. So leave your comment. It is important. If I get enough, I'll do it. If I don't, I won't. So, you know, support the American farmer. And today, take a moment, watch these videos. You're already on YouTube. Type in Neil Young, Ohio, or the ones by National Geographic that are 30 minutes long. There's 2 episodes. And, you know, type in one and watch and honor these 4 students who lost their life on May 4th at Kent State College 48 years ago, because those are unforgotten heroes in my book. They fought for our rights, and you know, there are other back then. You know, there was Joan Baez and Gracie Slick and Neil Young, and there was a lot of other and even John Lennon. You know, he protested against the Vietnam War too. So there was a lot of other civil rights activists back then that, you know, we should be honoring more than they are. But these 4 kids really paid dearly. They gave their life for our rights, and for what they did. It triggered a massive amount of events that ended shortly after it ended the Vietnam conflict. You know, of course, back then we had President Richard Nixon. But if you look at Richard Nixon and you look at what we got now as president, there ain't no difference. There really ain't. They're both a bunch of liars and crooks. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please leave your comments below. And like I said, if I get enough thumbs up and comments about this video, then I'll open another YouTube channel, and once a week we'll discuss the issues of us common people here in the United States. I mean, we're talking middle class down, because we're the ones that are suffering. We're the ones that these rich bastards and the politicians are, you know, living off the sweat of our brow, and we're the ones that are suffering. I mean, I still have friends that are losing their homes, and yet White House officials, oh no, the economy's getting better. Well, it's all on paper, ladies and gentlemen. It's all a bunch of bullshit, because I don't see any improvement at all. Of course, I'm on the lower part of the food chain here, but I don't see no improvement. So leave your comments below, thumbs up, comments below. If I get enough positive feedback on this video, I'll start a video, and once a week we'll talk about issues that are facing us people in the United States. Thanks for watching.